Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another episode of the Daily Bone podcast, where we discuss all things crypto market. That includes majors like Bitcoin, Ethereum, Solana, meme coins, and of course, NFTs. Today, we are going to discuss the ongoing war between Elon and Trump and what this means for the crypto market and other markets at large. We're going to recap Circle's first day of trading. Absolutely electric stuff there. And we're going to look at Fartcoin after it finally gets a Coinbase listing.
Oh,
We got some fun stuff to talk about today. But before we do, we want to give a big shout out to the partners for today's show, Gemini. We love Gemini. Go to bodogos.com/Gemini if you want to sign up for this credit card. Did you know your credit card points and miles lose value to inflation over time? While they collect dust, credit card companies often reduce redemption values of your points over time. Who would have thought? They're looking to make money that way. Imagine a credit card with rewards that can grow in value. With the Gemini credit card, you can earn Bitcoin on one or over 50 other cryptos instantly. No annual fee. Of course, every swipe at the store or gas pump earns you instant rewards deposited straight into your account. Plus, if you sign up now, you can earn $200 of Bitcoin. Kickstart your rewards. Go to bodogos.com/Gemini today. Again, if you're looking to invest in Bitcoin and are looking for an easy place to start, Gemini credit card is where you want to be. Bodogos.com/Gemini. Nick loves this card. Pio loves this card. I'm excited to sign up for this card once I get a loan for a new house. I cannot wait to start stacking these crypto rewards. That being said, I'm joined today by Kix. It's been about a week. How you feeling today, Kix?
really good, man. Other than I inhaled some creatine on accident.
The mouth instead of the nose.
Yeah. I think it's actually the amino acids because it's like very fine. It gets a little dusty. You know, like you've ever like done a powdered supplement and like the dust can kind of kick up and you like taste it.
Yeah.
Got a little bit of whoa, it's still there. A little bit of that in the back of the throat. We're gonna be fine, ladies and gentlemen. Let me take a quick sip here.
Yeah, you stir it, you don't stir it enough, and there's like a little fine powder layer. You go to drink it. That just gets you.
Gets you every time. But dude, I am doing phenomenal, man. Figured out something with my golf swing.
Ooh.
Very important because I did what you're never supposed to do in golf, which is when things are going good in golf, you're not supposed to change anything, right? And me, I'm like, I want to get another 20 yards, 30 yards out of my driver, so I'm going to try to change up my swing. Fucking does nothing for my driver, makes every other swing worse. I just snowball downhill, played like the worst round of the year, and then went back to the basics. Straight swing, using the shoulders, hit some good shots, man. So we're back, baby. I got a tournament coming up. So that's why I'm trying to get, chiseled in. But then after that, I checked CoinGecko, price is down. I was like, oh, that sucks. What's happening? Oh, Elon and fucking, Trump are beating the shit out of each other on social media. I'm like, oh, cool. That's fun. That's great. It's like watching your two best friends at a bar beat the shit out of each other. You're like, this is not good. You know what I mean? Like, this sucks. First of all, I like both of these guys. One of them or both of them is going to end with their ass beat. Then also, I got to be friends with them afterwards, which is going to be awkward for a little bit.
And you own the bar, and they're starting to break stuff too.
They're starting to break stuff, and it's affecting me financially. Yeah. And then I woke up today. Looks like crypto went up a little bit. So maybe semi-crisis averted. We'll see.
Yeah, I was nervous we were gonna like lose 100, and then we're gonna start talking about these 72 levels again. Like I had like massive like visions of that happening. I was standing in line, like watching this unfold, watching price just go down. I went to our local Greek festival yesterday to pick up some gyros. They have these banging gyros that like everyone loves. So you get there before they open, and you try to wait in line and get them like right as they launch, and then take them home for some takeout. But I was waiting in line, looking at my phone. I was like, "Up, there's another tweet. Up, it looks like we pulled the Epstein card here from Elon. This is gonna end well." Everyone around me is like, just living their lives. I'm like, I wish I could be like these people, so carefree. I'm sitting there staring at my phone, being like, "What the fuck?"
Yeah, you're like, this could like, collapse with the worldwide governments. It's like one of those memes. Like, no one around me has any idea. You know what I mean?
Yep. Exactly.
They're all just sitting in line. They don't know what I know right now. Ben Wong says, buy the dip on Hype. Yeah, dude. I mean, Hype's fucking just a great looking fucking chart, dude. It really, really, really is. It's my favorite chart in crypto. I'm not even trying to like toot their own horn too much. I just think you like look at it on the monthly, you look at it on the 3 month, you look at it at the 1 year. It just looks good. What about the dip on Tesla? That's maybe a little bit trickier. Because it's not even that much of a dip, man. Like you're still up from the bottoms in March. You're still up 30%. Do I think this is going to like catastrophically affect Tesla in the long run? The only way I see it could is if this resulted in Elon getting removed. Other than that, I think this is, they'll figure some shit out. Trump's a big trust guy, loyalty. So they're never going to be like dabbing it up, but they could be cordial. We'll see if that happens.
Yeah, I think we'll see something happen here. Or is this whole thing staged is the question.
Or it could be staged, dude. Who knows, man? Get the Democrats to be like, release the Epstein files, Trump. Then he does. Who knows, dude? Don't really care. As long as Hyperliquid goes to $100, I'm fine. Really, I'm fine.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of that Tesla dip got eaten up. It was up more pre-market. Now it's below 300 again. I mean, Hype didn't even it's not even that much of a dip on Hype.
Yeah.
Like it held up pretty well.
I mean, look at like you see it's like MACDing into the red on the daily, which isn't like a big thing like on the daily, but when you see red and you see chart going up, right? That literally means like the chart is going up into resistance essentially, like into where even a slightly bullish chart should be rolling over. You keep going up. Look at Nick, dude, with his little black hat, big black hat, should I say, with a little silver thing on it. Probably means it's worth a lot of money.
That's 9DCC. They shut down.
Rest in peace. Could be an artifact one day.
I feel like it's worth even more because the business is out of business.
Yeah.
Same with my hoodie and my hat. Well, I guess my hat's not really out of business anymore. They're just getting passed around at this point.
Yeah, like a little college,
Is this Did you see Peter Schiff's tweet this morning or last?
Yeah. I mean, dude, the 70s were different.
What did he say?
They were.
He
said when he was in college, he had sex with underage women. Which
is that really like is that really what he said?
Yeah. Which you shouldn't word it exactly that way, but like in the 60s and the 70s, it wasn't weird for like a 19-year-old to be dating a 16-year-old. Now it's weird in society, but I'm just telling you guys, it wasn't. Okay, and everyone can be mad at me and say that's weird, but just factually, like in the 60s, it wasn't weird for like a 16-year-old to be, dating
an 18-year-old.
Yeah. Exactly. I mean, if he was still shouldn't be weird.
If he was 22 and he was dating a 16-year-old, that would be weird.
Yeah, then it's kind of like, dude, were you stunted? Like, was your growth stunted? Or are you kind of like pedo? Like, what's going on? You socially challenged a little bit, But like society, if you think about it, right? Like
people died way earlier.
Yeah, it's an unreal comment.
like it was like people are like it was.
You gotta get it. Gotta get it while you can get it.
Living in a cave.
That's funny, dude. 65. 65-year-olds are dating 22-year-olds. You know what I mean?
That's weird. It's weird.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's more weird to me than a 19-year-old dating a 17-year-old.
What's his name? The former New England coach,
Bill Belichick. Yeah,
Bill Belichick.
Yeah.
His whole situation. That one feels like he's being blackmailed or something.
Could be.
But in a way that he likes it.
He feels like he's under duress. Yeah, like kind of under duress. Have you seen some of those videos? Like she like controls the interviews and stuff.
But he's like secretly enjoying it. I don't know. It's like one of those people that has too much power and money that likes sort of some degree of abuse. I forget what that's like in the TV show Billions. Like how that guy, the person that worked for the government, I'm blanking on all these people's names, but
yeah, kind of like a Glenn Greenwald shit.
What does Glenn Greenwald do?
Well, apparently in private, lots of interesting things.
Really?
It's like a Shades of Grey scenario.
Yeah, Mossad leaked his kink.
Mossad leaked his kink?
Allegedly.
That's like the conspiracy. Well, like the same thing.
The Saudis did it to Bezos.
That's like the same conversation that's happening around Joe Rogan, where how his PIN number was guessed, and like Twitter is like, yo, Mossad was involved in that, and they're just showing him, how much control and power they have. I will be honest, like just out of the thin air, it did seem kind of like bullshit the way that he was guessing, like how he was guessing the PIN number.
Yeah,
and it was just like, what? Like
the guy that invented wrapped ETH, right? And he's like, the fucking intelligence agencies are like running a pedo ring out of Puerto Rico, and my girlfriend's like a CIA agent, and I think I'm not going to kill myself. And then the next day, they found him in the ocean dead. The guy that made wrapped ETH, you trade it all the time. So those things are real out there, man. You got to be careful. You start seeing some spooks around.
Okay, what's the name? What's the name of this person who invented wrapped ETH? I need the.
I don't know his name. Great guy though, I'm sure.
Will Warren.
Yeah.
Will Warren, OX Labs.
That's why, I don't like I don't want to be like Puerto Rico's not an expat, but I like living in America just because I feel like the Clintons can get me, but the CIA, it's a little harder for them to get me, when I'm within the sovereign borders.
All right. Are we trading anything, or are we?
Yeah, dude, I buy the shit out of some hype, man.
Well,
really?
How about Kicks? How about we do the weather report, and then afterwards we'll dive into some of the trades.
Well, or we can just wrap the show after that. We could try one of these quicker shows, just knock it out, bada bing, bada boom, boom, we're done. Ray likes keeping things going till 10:15 for no reason.
I only go till 10:15 if there is reason. I like to stop at 10 if there's nothing else on the docket.
Let me tell you a little secret. You can stop earlier. That's something you don't need to draft. There's no one saying, oh, this thing needs to go to 10.
Yeah, that's fine. I mean, when you have conversations like this that drag it on, though, sometimes it needs to go a little bit longer.
He's a performer, Ray's a performer. He's not going to come out and play 2 songs and leave. He wants to give the people what they want, dude. They're like, one more song. Ladies and gentlemen, today's Friday, June 6th. The majors are down across the board. Bitcoin under 105K. PO is still alive. It's okay, people. Ethereum under 2,500. Solana at 151. Solana dumped down in the 140s. I should have kept that short. Yeah, I should have kept that short. Elon Musk and Donald Trump battled on social media, briefly sending Bitcoin below 101K and Tesla stock down almost 12%. Markets have since recovered, but there are no signs of an end between the tensions between the two. They both have enemies on all fronts. It's kind of like World War II. Next up, some big Bitcoin treasury raises were revealed as MetaPlanet announced a $5.4 billion equity raise. Holy shit. To purchase additional Bitcoin. This is crazy. And the Trump Media Group increased their primary offering from $2 billion to $12 billion to purchase more Bitcoin. Dude, these numbers, these sound like Ray just made shit up. Ray did a little meth in the morning and just made up numbers. That's a lot of fucking money. Do the math on that. Is that like 0.3% of Bitcoin supply right there? Finally, Circle saw massive success on its first trading day on the New York stock market. After being halted multiple times, it closed today at 83, currently trading at 95, over 3x the IPO price. I don't know. Maybe if you call crypto a Ponzi, I don't know. You're looking kind of dumb right now. That's it for the weather report. Back to you in the studio.
Hey, it looks like you were eating lasagna last night.
Get a cannoli.
Right after Ma was yelling at you about your
Ma been saying crypto's a Ponzi. I didn't make any money because I was in the Ponzi's, but the other stuff was good, Ma.
Excellent weather report as always, Kicks. Look at this circle. We're up. We're trading above highs from yesterday. $98 pre-market now, continuing to go up. We got halted multiple times in the first 10 minutes of trading. twice on the upside, once on the downside before kind of.
Do you own any Circle?
No Circle.
Well,
did you get in the IPO?
Oh, you know it, dude. I was before, I was just one of the insiders. I own about 100 million of this bad boy right here.
Damn. So,
jokes aside, is this a buy even at $100?
What's the market cap? $18 billion?
Closed at 18 bill yesterday. It's higher now. I imagine it's, what is it, 20% higher?
What's their revenue?
I'm good.
Daily let me bring up DeFi Llama daily revenue. We were looking at this yesterday, but I can't remember the number off the top of my head.
578 million for the quarter ending March 31st, 2025. So the revenue is 2 billion. This represents a 2,000% increase compared to the previous quarter. I mean,
revenue just under 200 mil.
I mean, if they literally double again, they're making $1 billion a quarter. So like, if they're able to make 4 billion per year, I mean, they should be trading upwards of 40 billion market cap.
Damn, sounds like a good buy. Should have bought it yesterday. I'll just cope.
And we saw a handful of pieces of stablecoin news. Uber looking to potentially allow stablecoins in the rideshare app, and then we're also seeing Apple, X, Airbnb, Google all holding early conversations with crypto firms about integrating stablecoins. Bullish for Circle. I mean, Tether exists too, but Circle is a U.S. traded company, regulated in the U.S. These are all U.S. companies as well that are very large. It seems like, I don't know if this information was like just gate kept until after release and kind of pumping this. It just seems odd in terms of timing, but we are seeing like a ton of big companies moving towards stablecoins with, all these big names here.
Big names.
Apple, X, Google, Airbnb.
Big names from the big boss.
Yeah, I'm really bullish on the Airbnb stablecoin.
Well, I mean, they might just be integrated.
No, they're not allowed to
payments. Yeah, they're not creating stablecoins.
Oh my god!
Like you'd be able to use USDC to book your Airbnb.
That's correct.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. So like,
the new stablecoin bill prevents them from creating their own stablecoins.
Also bullish for Circle.
And from users earning the yield, right? Which is kind of stupid.
The other clause that's in there that some people are calling a scam is that stablecoin holders inside of banks will have liquidity preferences in a bank run over US dollar holders, which is a wild position.
Damn. Hold them stablecoins, man.
That means US banks value stablecoins over US dollars. What? That's crazy.
Which are backed by US treasuries.
It's very weird.
Yeah. That are backed by US dollars.
So you're saying,
a little bit of a circle jerk.
You're saying you see no reason why this couldn't go to 40 bill, Nick, is what you're saying.
Right now it's at 18, so all you got to do is 2x, and actually it's more than 18 to go up to 96.
22.
It's up 22. That's what it's at,
roughly.
So they're at 22 billion. It's not a far cry from for 40 billion. That's just on a 2x of their revenue. I mean, the problem is this is getting expensive. Like I saw Chamath tweeting about Coinbase or Ripple should buy them. I think what's Coinbase's market cap?
I know it's below Robinhood's now. Robinhood just flipped them.
62 billion.
Yeah, so, they can't even afford them. That's crazy, a merger now.
Yeah, what's crazy is Circle is on the trajectory of matching Coinbase's entire market cap. That's an insane situation. Their annual revenue, for context, Coinbase 2024, 6.29 billion. And if and Circle could be directionally making the same amount of money. Here's the crazy thing. They don't need to do all this fucking exchange bullshit.
Yeah.
I mean, what a great business. This Circle may just be a better stock than Coinbase. That's the wild thing. Man, what a phenomenal position to be in.
Well, they don't have to do the exchange bullshit, but they do have to do like treasury management bullshit and like worrying about like rates and all that. Like they do have to do a lot of like
but Coinbase has to do that as well. Coinbase is the one which offers the Treasury for the companies that are buying, like all the ETFs and stuff like that. They're the one managing all of those assets. So they're already doing a bunch of that stuff. So they have to do additional shit. Coinbase is coming under criticism because of all of the scams that are happening on Coinbase. You can't have a scam on Circle.
Hyperliquid.
What about Hyperliquid?
He's just saying it. How many employees does Circle have?
I'd rather own Circle and Hyperliquid than Coinbase.
Is that your barbell, Circle and Hyperliquid?
Some people's probably.
It's not a bad one.
I mean, $100 easily.
So. You know, it's a difficult situation for the team over at Coinbase right now, and I just want to say that they're in my thoughts and prayers. You know, when it comes,
maybe if Zora worked out differently for him, you know.
Oh boy.
I didn't mean that to be mean. If it was, I'm sorry.
Coin that.
Yeah, that's crazy, dude.
Well, shit. I wish I got an IPO.
Ray, what's the next story we got here?
Sorry, I'm looking up employees for Circle compared to Coinbase. We got the Bitcoin Treasury raises. We can talk about that. We had some big Treasury raises. MetaPlanet announced a $5.4 billion equity offering. Trump Media Group upped their offering from $2 billion to $12 billion. DJT, Trump Media Group, basically even pre-market, lost 8% yesterday during the Elon Musk and Trump beef. MetaPlanet continues to just cruise upwards. $9, unfazed. These are big buys coming in. Like, we're continuing to see bigger and bigger numbers buying Bitcoin, like from institutions. And we're not seeing, I don't think we're seeing like the explosive growth in Bitcoin that's kind of like reflecting the bid side here, in my opinion.
It's a big market cap.
Yeah.
It's going to take a little while to move it, but people liking the coins over the dollars.
What do you make of Bitcoin here, Nick? Do you have any levels you're looking at to hold if we have issues with this continued Trump-Elon spat, or any targets to the upside still intact?
Well, we temporarily broke below the 102,618 level as the one that I've been looking at. Except we broke back above. I'm looking for that level to hold. That's the most important one, because down below that, you're down at 83. So yeah, I'm interested in seeing whether or not this level can hold. On the weekly, pull this up. Inevitably, it's good that we have like a pullback here. But so you do want a retest of this level. Let me just share my screen here so I can show Kix how to do technical analysis properly.
Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome, dude. In terms of so we got like, we had this attempt to break above, rejection, attempt to break, rejection again, and then break above, sustained. We had multiple weeks over this 102,641 level, and I'm just using Fibonacci's for this. And then now we've it's attempted to break down below. Having a retest of this level is generally a good thing, even in a bull market. So seeing something like this and then up, higher is not unheard of. We saw yesterday one of the biggest stories that was discussed on crypto Twitter, according to ChooseRich Live, was the ECB lowering interest rates, and as an indicator that somehow the U.S. is going to lower interest rates as well and begin printing money. And so that was kind of an overall, obviously crypto Twitter loves money printing. loves devaluing the dollar because it implies that risk assets are going to pump. We saw some ugly numbers, though, from the charts, and all the altcoins, they look bad. ETH, I will say, has an interesting Fibonacci notch right here. It did a retest also somewhere around this 2450 level. Solana looks just bad. Like it's headed down to 130. Like this is just an ugly chart. No way to spin it. AVAX, that's at a key level. Effectively around $20 is what you're looking for this to stay above. Hyperliquid is looking nice. I mean, literally the weekly closed right on this level. I mean, this is very nice. Kix keeps mentioning it. So were you saying before I came on the show that you just own a huge bag of this?
Mm-hmm.
How big you into this bad boy? Did you switch all your ETH over?
Nope, I still own my ETH, but I moved a lot of my stable coins over to Hype.
What's your target on this? $70?
100.
100. I like it. Are you holding Solana?
I got a little bit, not a lot.
So you think Hyperliquid over Solana?
Yeah.
I've been borderline feeling the same, dude. But I don't like how I'm like on this like emotional journey with this. Like, how do you know when to pivot when you're like, years into your position and you're just sitting there with holding on to that target? I'm feeling like kind of how the Ethereum holders have been feeling as Solana ran. And if Hype, keeps running, then you're like, why did I do this? Can you stake your Hype?
Yeah, but it's like for not that much APY. It's like a little bit.
Well, I mean, that's almost a better position to be in because Solana is just being diluted.
Yeah.
Which is super annoying because you're like, okay, well, I want to stake, but then in order to get it out of the staking, it ends up taking a period of time when the market ends up moving. And you're like, shit, I got to wait for this fucking stake to unstake.
Yeah. I just like Hyperliquid because it's, it's like clean. They buy and burn, or they buy back 100% of their revenue.
Mm-hmm.
And there's not like any big unlocks till the end of the year.
Well, I'm interested to see. I mean, dude, if Bitcoin breaks below, if we do get a breakdown, I mean, I guess you could argue that there's some level around here, just technical wise, down at the 93 level. But I mean, down here is where I'm looking, and that'd be ugly. Bitcoin at 83. Could you imagine? I mean, could you imagine what the world would look like in that situation?
ETH at 1,500, Solana hovering around 100. Not great.
Can you imagine? What would that feel like? How would that feel for you?
I was looking back at past newsletters. I had a tweet today, August of last year, so just a little bit less than a year ago. ETH and Sol were at the exact same prices essentially they are today. Bitcoin was in the 50s. So that tells you like where we've ground in this like Bitcoin dominance altcoin market. If Bitcoin dumps back in the 80s and alts dump, like people are going to be like pitchforking on the timeline.
This is where I bought my Rolex. This is when you're feeling just super excited and things are just pumping. The next time it comes down, you're like, why did I buy that Rolex? You know what I'm saying? That may have been one of the dumber purchases, but it did very well on the content side of things. So, I mean, I guess I feel good about it. Is it worth 20 grand? I mean, I spent $500 in a bar in London thinking that was going to go mega viral, and it like barely scratched the surface on Instagram, primarily because it was dark and it was a crap video.
Did you get kicked out?
No, I almost did. The guy came over. He's like, you got to go. And I was like, so I'm not going to go.
Hey, Nick, I know you don't do this often. How about you pull up a meme coin? Let's bring up some Fartcoin on the charts here on TradingView. We had them being listed on Coinbase yesterday.
Really?
Yeah. or put on the Coinbase listing roadmap. We got a little cup and handle action here on the weekly.
Ooh, damn.
Damn, son, where do you find that shit?
What do you get out of a cup and handle? How does that pattern materialize?
It looks
Upwards.
like a cup, like that, sort of. And there's the handle.
Okay. But is that a little teapot, short and stout?
Where's its handle? Where's its spout?
This is the handle. This is the spout. You're about to tip that bad boy over and spill out all the Farcoin.
Oh, golly gee.
What do you do? What do you do with the how does a cup and handle pattern resolve?
Bullish. Upwards.
Really? So where does it go? Like, give me the numbers here. Like,
I don't know where it goes. It goes up. I thought you were a TA guy. You're just learning about cup and handles?
No, I've seen people talk about it. I just don't know cup and handle pattern. Okay, it looks like.
I don't think it's like, oh, cup and handle, then it goes up
wow.
70%.
Yeah, that's actually what it does. So it goes like this. The argument is that you get the distance from here when it breaks back above. You're aiming for this. So 270 at the next thing, which would bring you back to approximately the high. Ray, I sure hope to God that it's a cup and handle.
For your sake, buddy.
I mean, I like this position. Someone said, now do Bitcoin. Like, what? That's not a cup and handle.
Let's make up a cup and handle for Bitcoin.
Yeah. All I see is cups and handles everywhere.
You're just putting a random thing in. You're like, and there's the cup, and here's the handle, and then, yeah, you take. I mean, honestly, like, that is kind of what I'm calling for. You're taking this, boom, and you plug it up on here, bam, and that brings you up to 127. That is the next stop. The next stop is 127 on the way to 150, which is where I'm still thinking that we're going.
Yeah, I think if you're bullish crypto, you could see Fartcoin go to short-term bullish crypto. You could see Fartcoin go to 160 pretty easily, $1.60.
I mean, 160 is not a bold call here. A bold call would be this 270.
Yeah, I'm just saying on a short term. But you want to be tough, bud? You want to be tough? Because over here, buddy, I've been getting into some trades pretty early. Okay. Tough
Okay.
guy.
What have you been getting into early?
Ethereum.
Oh, yeah. How early you get into that?
1,600.
I got in at $8.
Hyperliquid. A little late to that party. 28.
I haven't
like
moved. I haven't moved money over for Hyperliquid yet. But so you bought yesterday?
No, I bought
Oh, you bought down. Wow, where did you buy?
in May.
Are you just holding spot hype, Kex?
Yeah, I got a little perps bag. I've been playing around with perps trading. It's been fun, but yeah, it's all in spot. I don't fuck around with leverage on big positions.
I did some I don't usually do it, but I did some like DeFi looping on it, lent it.
How does this chart look so good?
Because they buy the token every day from revenue, millions of dollars.
I mean, this is an insane chart.
Mike, you know what got me, Nick? Mike Novogratz, Galaxy CEO, went on CNBC because I liked it down when it was going in the mini little bear market we had. Like, I wish I'd gotten at 10 or whatever, and I just kept
we were
moving
at
up.
8, and I was on the show being like, should I full port all of my Solana and ETH over to Hype right now?
You'd be a very rich man right now if you did. But what he pitched me on, which made just so much fucking sense to me, because if you just look at the macro and you look at all of the things that are happening right now, right? Like, look at Circle's IPO, massive fucking success, right? Like it is the walls, the barriers around crypto and the rest of the world are crumbling, right? And there's just more people that want to get exposure to various crypto things, right?
Mhm.
What Mike Novogratz said on the show is he says, you have a lot of money that's like old school money in the sense of these people have made their money over decades, like understanding, okay, this company has revenue, right? The revenue, it grows, right? Like the stock price goes up, like they understand that, right? He said for some of them, the challenge is when you talk about things like Ethereum or Solana, right? You're telling them like, you got to bet on the network effects, which is like this abstract concept, right?
Yeah.
And he said he really likes products, and then he shelled Hyperliquid, where he said these are things that are very digestible to traditional investors. Because what you can say is that the coin is representing the revenue generated by Hyperliquid because they literally take all of the revenue they generate and they buy back the coin. So it acts like a stock functionally. And so for traditional old school money, it's a lot easier for them to say, okay, if I buy this, I'm getting exposure directly to the revenue of a fast growing perps exchange, you know, on top of the other things that you can potentially do with coin. So that just, it really kind of like hit home for me because I was just sitting there and I was like, this is a smart guy. This is the one thing he chose to talk about. And it just seems like as I'm talking about it, the price is just going up. I'm like, this just makes sense to me that there's going to be people that are going to come in and they're going to be like, Mike, I want some exposure to Hyperliquid. You know what I mean? Versus like, I want exposure to this thing. And you think about all these other early things like Uniswap, right? And it was like a whole journey, right? Where they were like, eventually one day we may be able to turn on the revenue fee switch. And then it's like, boom, Hyperliquid's like, yeah, we're buying and burning 4 million a day. And this isn't like they invented this. Binance did this last cycle. And Binance went to the fucking moon. Their BNB token absolutely exploded to the upside. And they're what? But Binance is a top 4 coin. BNB's top 4 coin. Pretty sure. 90 billion, something like that.
Here you go, Nick. That's all you have to do. Go read HIP 1, HIP 2, HIP 3 in their docs.
I actually read them, and that's very bullish. Noel is correct. What HIP, I'm not sure which HIP it was, but the most exciting HIP was that they're on it's on testnet right now, but eventually anybody will be able to open any perps market on Hyperliquid. They just have to own and stake 1 million Hyperliquid, so it's $32 million to get in on that, which is not cheap. But
I saw somebody, Ansem was saying it on the timeline. He was like, you know what Pump Coin should do, or Pump Fund should do? They should take that money, full port it into Hype, open up their own perps market for every one of the coins that they're launching on Pump Fund, and then basically control like the entire Feats tech stack on that. It was like some wild like suggestion for.
It's kind of fucking smart.
Well, HIP 1 is a capped supply.
I have a really big perps idea. If you guys know someone that has 32 million liquid that wants to invest, actually, it looks like the price of Hyperliquid go up. I think we're going to need
What is the best bridge to get over to Hyperliquid?
I just bridged over to Arbitrum.
I use cross.2 to bridge from
that sounds sketchy
EVM chain to Arbitrum 1-to-1, essentially. Small fee, dollars.
All right, never mind. Does anyone know someone that has $35.5 million?
Bridge. Sorry, does someone have what?
35 million. Maybe I gotta call him.
Doesn't listen to me. Listens to the commenters. He goes, Ray. Yeah, let's just take the random commenters.
Dude, what was the name of yours?
Across.2.
I've heard of that actually.
Yeah, it's good. It's very good. It's like the best bridge. It's my favorite bridge out of all bridges.
Is that the one that you had me use before where everything was just frozen?
That was Simple Swap. That was like a cross when you have to go like from EVM to Sol or EVM to Bitcoin or like different L1 stacks. This is
and what are you looking to bridge to? Oh, directly to Hyperliquid.
You can go directly to Hyperliquid from there.
And what are you bridging? ETH?
Yes. I've never bridged directly to Hyperliquid. I always go to Arbitrum and then I deposit to Hyperliquid. It looks like, yeah, it looks like you can go direct to Hyperliquid now.
Yeah, no, it's HIP 3 that's fucking the real big vision.
It looks like USDC is the only thing you can go right to Hyperliquid with.
All right, I'm going to dive into this. Like, I'm going deep, you know?
Yeah.
And I'm going to basically migrate probably upwards of $100,000 over here, minimum. How much of a bag you got here, Kix, right now?
A
More
lot.
than that?
No,
Okay.
I mean, I don't have as much liquid as you. Relative to your liquid, that's probably the same percentage.
Well, I'm like a billionaire at this point. So
if you actually are, dude, I got a banging idea, but we need 1 million Hyperliquid to be able to stake.
do you think when you become a billionaire that you're going to become an asshole?
To certain people, maybe, but mostly no.
Apparently, it changes a lot of people. And I've been seeing it change people, dude.
Or maybe it just lets you be your true self because you don't give a fuck. You know, maybe more people in life, like maybe some people like think that someone's an asshole when they're really just like telling it like they really feel. And most people can't do that because they don't have $1 billion.
I'd prefer to have a net worth in the tens of million dollar range than the $1 billion range. I would be concerned having a net worth in the $1 billion range.
Because you need security?
Yeah, and you just be on the radar more. I'd like to lay low and lay comfortable.
You just need a gang of bike ninjas and you're fine.
Well, that was, I mean, how coincidental is that that's literally the #1 thing on my list, actually, that I'm setting up right now just for
bike ninjas
against my home security. Yeah.
Dude, on little fucking dirt bikes, dude, they're so mobile. They can get anywhere on your plantation very quickly. And also, it's very easy to shoot like a submachine gun while moving off of a dirt bike.
How much do you have to pay the bike ninjas, Jer?
If you start an orphanage and they're the people that don't get adopted, it's very cheap.
You got to wait for them to grow up. So you got to wait like, well, I guess not if they were.
Exactly.
You're aiming for kids that are at least like probably 8 years old would be what you're like going for.
No,
right?
you can even find kids in orphanages that are 15, 16. And you
so
say,
you're
come
going
over to mine.
They're going right into training.
Yeah, oh, definitely. Yeah, you can ride a bike at that age.
But can you imagine how much more performant the 8-year-old's going to become by 15? Like you wait 7 years, that person is actual ninja.
Yeah, so you have like you're kind of like season 1, and then you're training up like their replacements.
Okay.
It looks like kids is actually down bad. Down below $4 now.
Fuck. Am I out of this thing?
Cheaper to acquire. Circle's pushing $100.
Oh, baby.
It is?
$98.60 right now.
Crypto Mocha's HIP 3 is a Hyperliquid proposal that will let builders launch their own perps. So it won't just be Hyperliquid launching their own perps, which is massive because it basically means that anybody in a decentralized, not a semi-decentralized manner, anybody can just list perps on Hyperliquid. In order to do that, though, you have to stake 1 million perp so that the risk of you doing something sketchy is gone. So it's like it's going to be $35.4 million if you want to get in on the perps place right now.
I lost $1,500 on kids.
Dude, if you put 100K into Hyperliquid right now, you'll make $200,000 profit before the end of the year. And you won't even want to sell it because it'll just look so good at that point.
It seems like such a consensus trade right now, which bothers me. I'm in this trade too.
Yeah, but the thing is that you're framing that against consensus trades that have no fundamental underlying thing, right? So
Yeah.
like who are the net additional buyers? If no one buys and sells hype, there's gonna be $2 to $4 million of buy pressure every day, and that probably goes up as more people use the platform. So that's like the key difference between like who are the next, who's going to buy my bags. Like it doesn't matter because it's like the company is going to buy your bags.
I guess the biggest risk is like platform risk, execution risk.
Yeah. But I mean, they already went through the ringer. Like Binance is like every day in the conference room trying to figure out how to destroy Hyperliquid. And every time they do it and it doesn't work, it just battle tests Hyperliquid more.
Right. And they're listing Hyperliquid Binance's now.
Only in the US, probably to cause problems.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Binance is very tricky. They're like, oh, we're cool guys. Let's list Hyperliquid. Let's only list it on the exchange where people can't use Hyperliquid. And then let's call Congress.
So this only supports USDC over to Hyperliquid on across two.
Yep. I would do that. I would swap to USDC on whatever EVM chain you're on and send the USDC.
There's a lot of people that are talking about basically like getting in now on the EVM side of Hype and farming all of the protocols on there with the thought process that if Hyperliquid goes to 20, 30 billion circulating and solidifies itself as like a top 5 blockchain, then you're going to be farming stuff like Pancake Swap, which is worth $752 million. So there's multiple ways you can play it.
Yeah. What's the next, like the knock-on trade on Hyperliquid? Like, is it Hyper EVM stuff, or is like the value behind Hyperliquid strictly like their perps platform and like their chain is not really going to get like the same traction, I guess would be my question. Like,
with these things, you have to be forward looking, not like current looking. So when people talk about Hype EVM, they're like, it only has a 7 TPS. They only have it at a 7 TPS for like security and growth reasons, because Hype EVM is not an L2 on ETH. Hype EVM is an L2 on their Rust L1 that can run incredibly fast. So like Hype EVM can have a way higher TPS. So yeah, and then also on Hype EVM, there's compatibility between the Hype L1, meaning like people can do all sorts of things on Hype EVM that's compatible with like the perps and all of the other spot stuff going on the DEX. So yeah, I think farming some stuff on Hype EVM, there's really cool people in DMing me, sending me guides. I'm just not a big farmer. I probably should hop in and like try to do some things, because I think there'll be some really juicy airdrops on all of that. On top of, does Hype do future airdrops to like EVM users, people building stuff there, etc. But I also think just the cleanest play is you just own Hype.
I'm doing some stuff I can like bring up really quickly in case it's helpful for people. I try to do some meme coin swaps on HyperSwap, which has a points program. It's a DEX on Hyperliquid or on Hyper EVM. I also use Felix. I did a like DeFi looping. So basically I deposited my my Hyperliquid, took out a USD stable coin loan, and then deposited that into Liminal, which is a like a delta neutral like farming strategy. Basically, they get the funding rates on perps from Hyperliquid. It has like a limited TVL right now. It's at 20 mil and it's capped. It was at 5 mil. It filled up from 5 mil to 20 mil in about a half an hour over the weekend. Shout out to R Tommy for letting me know this opened up. So
R Tommy's the guy in my DMs.
Yeah. Yeah. So he probably told you the same thing. Like he probably said, like, here's what you do. And I basically just listened to him. So essentially I'm borrowing at an 8% rate and I'm earning 19% on Hype with like a Hype liquidation risk of if it dips below like $12. And I can always deposit more Hype in there if I want to avoid liquidation. So just a couple things you can do on the Hyper EVM side if you're looking to touch a couple protocols, farm some points.
People in the chat are saying a lot about Unit. You know about that?
Yeah. Unit is a bridge. I unsuccessfully used Unit because I didn't read. You have to send at least 0.05 ETH across. I sent like a little bit less in a test transaction. So now that money's just like lost in the ether. So I want to test that out again at some point, but didn't feel good to get burned there.
Yeah. I sent $1,000 of Solana to a pump fund contract on accident a couple weeks ago. It happens as long as you keep your stupid mistakes limited.
This doesn't make sense. It sounds like Blur with a bit more venture cap behind it. I don't know how this sounds anything like Blur.
Dude, this is nothing like Blur. Yeah, we should write a little mini report on this. I'm gonna go. I got you're welcome, Ray and Kicks.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you for your presence today, gracing us with it, in fact. And I'll end the show 3 minutes early here to make you happy, Nick. We're not going to run a full hour-long show. Thank you all for coming out and listening today. Thank you for listening all week. It's been a wonderful week here on the Daily Bone. We do this.
You think he's going to buy some Hyperliquid?
Yeah, he's going to do it right now. I see him. He's in the green room buying Hyperliquid. We do the show Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. Eastern time. Catch us back on YouTube. See what we're talking about in real time. Watch us on all major podcasting platforms. Thanks again for listening. We'll catch you next week.